All right.
What?
Time to say goodbye. No.
So the Premier League?
Yeah. Is football... we're going to be going on Twitter a lot today because we've got some great stuff on Twitter this week. Also, a bit of beef. But I did ask for spicy titles and people went, is this the end of the Premier League? I was like, that's a really good title, you know. Because it is, isn't it? It's finished.
Yeah. Someone said, is this the last ever Jaffin? I think Ian McKenzie.
Leave it. I mean, leave it open. Obviously.
Could be. Can I? You know what's a shame?
Morning. Yeah.
Football's over, isn't it, for another season?
Yeah.
And I'm just starting to enjoy it. I'm just starting to enjoy it. The last week has been of the footballing season has been one of the best ever.
Would you consider it a joy? Would you say it's been a joy?
It's been a joy. Everything I wanted to happen has happened. It's brilliant. It's like it's like, I don't know, it's just like fucking Christmas, but in the middle of fucking April. Listen,
I love that.
I don't know if you've noticed, but Spurs have all the money. We've got all the money.
Straight into that. Yeah, straight into that. Okay.
Did you notice though? Did you notice?
Final thoughts on the season. Flav says, I think Spurs have got all the money.
We've got all the money, Jim. The thing is, Jim, right? Jim.
I think Villa have got all the money, have they not? What are they up to?
Can I talk about Spurs? Like, we've never had all the money. Now we've got the money.
Go on, tell us about all the money.
All the money, right? So this narrative, right? The one thing that always held us back, fans. Will he back Conte? Will Conte be backed? Levy doesn't back his managers. He does not. What's he gonna?
It's all good and well having him, but you got to back him.
You got to back him.
Yeah, true.
You got to back him. So what's Daniel Levy gone? Do you want backing, dear? Do you want fucking backing? Here's 150 million quid out of my back pocket. Fundamentally, out of my back pocket.
Wallop.
He's just like whacked his big old fucking dick on there goes
his money dick.
Yeah, he's just gone like that in front of Conte. And imagine that's how well endowed Daniel Levy is. Let's give it a little wobble as well, just because it's that big. It wobbles a bit like that, right? And he's just gone.
Yeah,
150 million versus
Antonio,
and that's not
Antonio. Can you come in and have a seat? He brings him into his office. Now, let's paint the picture. Come on. Do you want to come into it? Take a seat. And he's got like a sort of cupboard there, isn't he? He's going, have you seen my money dick? A money dick? What is a money dick?
Money dick. I don't. That's a very strange phrase. Money dick.
Let me show you. Let me show you my money dick. 150 mil of it. Whack. Yeah. Just round the face. Take it.
Do you know that? You know it's.
Like loving it.
Jim. Jim. You know, in porn sometimes they the bloke.
That's been a while. This has been a while. How refreshing. I haven't had this in a while. Go on.
Do you know in porn sometimes you're watching ones and like you're at the blowjob bit and the bloke just pulls it out and just sort of whacks the bird on the face of it. I'm sure she's like it's all good. It's all fine. They agree to everything.
What's your emotional reaction to that?
What do you mean?
Because for me, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, don't whack her in the face with your dick.
No,
the meaning.
Absolutely no for that. She's in a vulnerable position as it is. Don't do that.
I know. She's got a fucking camera in front of her. You know, don't whack her in the face with your dick. But it is a bit like that. Daniel Levy is whacking his dick on the rest of the Premier League.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And he's been. But what's interesting is he's been.
And they're like this, Jim. They're like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop hitting me in the face with your dick.
Other footballing fans are having the same emotional reaction, going, "Oh no, Daniel, don't do that." Well, sorry, I've got a massive weapon. Here you go. Yeah. Interesting. Didn't expect that, but that's what you get with Jeffin. Do you know what we will? We've got some great bits here. We're going to be looking at some football mysteries. We're going to be looking at. So basically, I was thinking, like, what are things that you kind of like you're confused about in terms of the season, mysteries from the season. So we've got that. We've also got things that you thought happened this season but didn't happen, which I'll explain. It's better than it sounds. And also, a few people want us to talk about John Terry and Rio Ferdinand's beef on Twitter.
100%. I've got some thoughts and opinions.
Interesting. But we will finish on someone in the comments last week put in the top 10 Jaffa moments I haven't actually. I only read, and I nearly put it in the Big Jim Laugh Award because I saw number 5 and I burst out laughing because it was so ridiculous. But we'll finish off the pod and the season, Flav, because we're off for a break. Only a break though, isn't it? That said, actually, we've if you want to spend the summer with us, we have the Jaffa Patreon, $4. We're doing our weekly mailbags, and we're up to like 430 people now. So if you want to join that, we just have a chat each week. So come and get involved.
Give us your fucking money.
Another way of saying it, yeah. Links in the description.
I'm always worried when I've got this cup. People think I'm massive. I've got a massive head. It's just a little cup.
Oh, is it a tiny cup? Oh, right.
Look, I mean, this is a normal mug.
Okay. Interesting.
Just I haven't got massive hands and a massive head.
Whilst we're on the subject of drinks, I've gone with a black coffee.
Okay.
With a mint tea chaser. So doubling up. If I don't need to go for a wee in this podcast, it'd be astounding. Anyone who
Can
knows
you absolutely do not go for a wee in this podcast? Don't leave me like it's bad enough when we're just pre-recording. Don't leave me live with the people. Do not do that. I'm going to leave as well if you do that.
Just walk off. Okay.
Well, we both walk off.
Last bit of admin. This video came out this morning, my Champions League preview. So if you could watch this after this stream, that would be great. Thank you. I think it's
Salah out for revenge.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, because of Ramos and what he did.
But Ramos is not playing.
Yeah, but the pain lingers, and they lost that Champions League, didn't they? Because of that.
Oh God. Do you know what? We should definitely talk about the obviously the Champions League. Obviously, it's been the biggest game of the season, and this is a football podcast, James. We should at least mention the fact that there's a Champions League tomorrow.
Okay.
Right. Actually, I can't be bothered.
So that's funny. Sorry, someone just said Mane's well out of position there. I think he's right at the front. That's at the start of the tactical analysis. Shut up. In the live chat, if you do think of, are there any things that happened this season that you think happened but didn't happen? Get them in there in the chat. We'll talk about them as well.
There's a lot of Liverpool fans are really, really confident. Strange.
Real Madrid fans hate me because I wonder if obviously there's other countries. Did you know that there's other countries and they have football teams, and I'd love to know if are Real Madrid the Liverpool. You know, like I know some people struggle with some Liverpool fans some of the time. Yeah. We are Real Madrid. I wonder who's the Liverpool of Spain. Like, who's the Spurs of Spain? Like, who's the? Do you know what I mean?
I think those Spurs are like the Napoli of Italy, apparently, according to my friend who lives in and he's a Napoli fan.
I think What have you got an Italian team? Do you know what I mean?
Of course not. I'm an actual football fan. No, no one should. There are no two-team bollocks, right? Not in my world.
Okay.
If I wanted to, when I think of the Italian table, the one I feel closest to is Fiorentina. Just because I remember watching them when I was a kid and Battista, Rui Costa. Edmundo, yeah.
Yeah. What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, yeah. Also in the pod today, we have... it got a bit spicy in the comment section.
Did it?
It did.
What happened to our lovely little community that just got on with each other?
What really happened with our community that used to get on with each other?
Just infiltrated by bastards.
In terms of titles, sadly, weren't able to do what really happened in the Overlap 4.0 this week because you weren't there.
I wasn't there,
talks of a contract clause that means you'll only do it if Roy Keane's there. I saw that on Twitter.
I do love Roy Keane.
Also, you walking away from the series. What really happened?
Imagine walking away from it. I was working.
There you go. So I saw Pippa on Wednesday.
Nice lady.
Lovely lady. I saw Pippa, and because when I played at Spurs, she was there, and I saw her. I was like, "What are you doing here?"
What did she say?
She was like, "Oh, they invited me down." I was like, "Oh, did you fancy playing?" She went, "I wasn't willing to wear the Spurs kit." I was like, "Good decision."
No, definitely don't do that. Yeah. But the thought of even setting foot inside Arsenal, outside of North London, is beyond me. And I will be next time I see her. I will be voicing my disapproval at her decision to actually go.
To step in, yeah. Okay. I asked her about... Oh, yeah, so on Wednesday, she was like, oh, Flav wasn't at the overlap thing. I was like, oh, yeah, he had to work. And she said... unprompted, she went, Ty was a nightmare.
Yeah.
It's like, he just wouldn't shut up. It just wouldn't.
Yeah,
it just wouldn't stop.
It's mad. It's mad. The thing is like it ruins. It gets to the point where, all right, we get it. But
Well,
it sounds.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
What?
It makes it and ruins it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but how long? Well, yeah, I mean, look, it keeps getting booked, so it must drive people like it. In terms of what,
It's felt watchable.
I feel like you're wasting. This is a great opportunity to have good conversation with access to pro footballers or ex-pro footballers, huge names in the sport still, and you're going for the you essentially got the lowest level of fan banter, the lowest level, and they don't need it. They're not going to get views without it. So it's up to them, you know. And
Do you know what I think?
I know the guys
that
that do it.
Sorry, go on, finish off.
Well, I know the guys that do it, and I know that you know, they all really know what they're doing. 'Cause it's been such a success. But
Yeah, people love it.
if he keeps getting booked, he's not going to change, is he?
Well, so my theory on that would...
I think I'd have ended up throwing him out the window.
If I was the... Yeah. I could see he was sort of struggling with it. What I would say is that in terms of percentage ruined, because it was at like an hour and something, it was actually only quite a small part of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So say it's a 10-minute video and he's ruining 6 minutes of it, and you'd be like, okay, this
I reckon
is
I would have been able to handle the situation. I don't think I'd have any issues.
Bardi did really well, didn't he?
They did very well. I knew he's class at Bardi. You know, he's he knows his stuff. And he's great at putting his point across.
Yeah,
Super intelligent guy, and actually not he's fantastic, good looking, Italian, everything, right? And actually, just if you enjoy still, I know it's mad, but reading about football, read his articles, brilliant writer as well. I know, can you imagine that, reading an article about football in this month?
All right.
Yeah, so I knew when he went up there that he was going to do a great job, but it just doesn't. In my opinion, it didn't need to be that difficult for him to have to deal with this sort of, you know, essentially petulant.
I'd love to hear
Petulance.
not a therapist. I'd love to hear a psychologist go, "What's going on here?" Like, is it just because Ty's like, you know, obviously defined by being an Arsenal fan, or like, you cannot talk to him. That's what I said to Pip. Pip, I was like, when you did that thing, you were like, I can't reason with him. Pip was like, you can't. I thought it's for Pippa though, because when I watched it, I presume Pippa, you know, I hope Pippa was paid to go up there. You know, all the travel and everything. She didn't speak. She didn't get a chance to speak. Poor thing.
They probably didn't need both of them.
Yeah, maybe not. Anyway,
but you know, that's Ty's USP. And you know what? It's not an act. It's not an act. He dials it up for a little bit, I think, for things like that. But he believes and is completely steadfast in what he's saying and how he behaves. When the camera's off, if you get into it with him, it's
the same thing.
It's exactly the same. Nothing changes. Whereas most people are ham things up and they know what they're doing. And I say things that I know he's going to probably irritate, or it might be a little bit. For example, saying that Thierry Henry will be a footnote in Harry Kane's career isn't. No, I don't actually believe that. That's nonsense, isn't it? But just say it because it's funny. But you're playing a game, whereas with Ty's, it's real.
Sorry, Solenum says, capital letters, stop mocking. Ty needs professional help. No, you're calm down.
What part of us are mocking?
What? Because he likes, but also because he likes to argue about football.
This is bullshit. That stuff like that. No one was mocking him. No one was mocking him. So don't fucking put that out there like we were. This is fucking the bullshit like this happens all the time, and then people think you are mocking.
Yeah.
You got to be careful saying and accusing things like that when it's blatantly untrue. Not once have we mocked him. 1
week ban, which is actually pointless because it's the last one of the season. Final thoughts on the season. We've got no power, mate. We've got no power anymore.
The comments have said cry more. You should have just said cry more too.
Yeah. Oh no, but then he might need. I don't know. Final thoughts on the season. You guys, you're just happy, are you? Just a happy guy.
Like me? Yeah. It was, look, I mean, fundamentally, the most frustrating thing from a Spurs fan perspective has been the constant dialogue around Antonio Conte. where he's just signed and everyone's just convinced he wants out immediately.
So true.
And the constant narrative was that he wants out. Yeah. And so that was exhausting because you're like, oh, we've got this great manager, but everyone's screaming at me saying he doesn't want to be there when he signed the fucking contract. He didn't have to come.
It's like, when there's a couple and like they are completely in love, but for some reason, some people have this idea that one person's not good looking enough for the other one. That's Spurs, and like she's like, Conte's like a 10, and you're like, what? But you can't really want to be with Spurs.
Yes, yeah. We're like a 6. Conte's a 10, and we've somehow got this worldie.
You're a 6, but with a great personality, and Conte's really enjoying the personality, and you're gonna have some plastic surgery soon, so. And
there's absolutely nothing. Yeah, you've got 150 million pounds of plastic surgery booked. And everyone's going, you don't want to be there, do you? It was a mistake. You was pissed.
No, I know it's going well. And he's making the changes, and it's a great appointment. But he doesn't want to be there, though, does he? That is. And we're going.
Look look. We might not be that pretty, but look at our big house. Look at our brand new big house.
Yeah. We see, but he's a bit smarter, and he's got something about him. Yeah. But look at him.
Someone said something interesting last week. Obviously, we've done a lot of recording this week around Spurs, and I don't think there's a club out there that really needs Antonio Conte, in the way that Spurs. We need him. And there aren't many clubs out there that need him. And if we need him, he's going to be given whatever he wants. And if he's given whatever he wants, he's going to be happy. So where does he go that he's going to be loved and adored and needed, more crucially, than Spurs at the moment?
Is Antonio Conte a gold digger then?
Yeah.
Kind of is,
but gives great head. Got to keep him around. Antonio Conte gives great head.
I mean, but this is the point of a gold digger, isn't it? Like, so like Spurs is like an 80-year-old man, and Antonio Conte is like, 24-year-old.
24-year-old
rocket, and
absolute
rocket. She likes the finer things.
No,
that's Antonio Conte, isn't it?
She just wants to be in fast cars.
Yeah,
and that's fine. We're all agreed.
Yeah, as long as everyone's happy and consenting to this. What is the problem? God.
Yeah, no issues. It's society's problem. It's the rest of football's problem. They've got the problem, not our problem. We're happy. Okay. Anyway, so it's good. It's good that's kind of happening though. It hasn't been a classic of a season, has it? It's been it's one that's just sort of bubbled along.
I think it's been good. I think it's been fantastic, actually. Someone tweeted me.
You really love football,
someone tweeted me, and I thought this is. And I might try and. I've forgotten your name, mate. I'm really sorry, but you know who you are. You tweeted me, and I thought it was really interesting. So, first of all, the fact that it goes to the final day and there's all this stuff that's still, the
final day was fantastic.
Was amazing. I thought it was really important the whole way through, which was great. Also, this person who tweeted me. Oh God, it's annoying me. I'm so sorry. I've forgotten your name. Basically saying the middle section of the Premier League has never been stronger.
Yeah, it's good.
Like if you think Villa getting out their money dick, Newcastle United getting out their massive money dick, Wolves doing well, Brighton really well run club, Leicester City gone back a little bit but recovered, West Ham having a good season. Like the middle of the Premier League is so strong. So the whole league is, in its
on paper they're strong. On paper they are strong, but the points aren't spread
really
out.
Strong? They're strong, but are they strong? Is that what you're saying?
None of those teams were taking points off of the big teams, really, weren't they? I'm not including like Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City didn't lose to those sides.
Yeah, well, Chelsea lost to Brentford.
Can you believe Manchester City lost 3 games and 2 of those were to Spurs?
That is mad. Also, well, okay, let's get into the football mysteries. Because this is
so Jim, just quickly before we go football mysteries. I was on holiday last week, and I was in a sports bar, and when I say sports bar, it had a telly. Every inch of this fucking place had a telly.
That is the definition of a sports bar. You need to have at least 15 screens.
15. There was, I would say, at least 200. It was ridiculous.
There's one on the menu.
Wherever you look, there was a TV in the table.
Wow.
Anyway, so it was filled with Liverpool fans, but there was a combination of Man City fans and everybody else who liked football who was supporting Man City.
Right.
And So I'm just sort of sitting there, and I've got the Spurs game on my phone just to make sure that we absolutely weren't going to fuck up against Norwich.
Yeah.
But once that was clear, I couldn't really follow it on my phone. It kept buffering anyway. So I'm watching what was like this, but people don't get football. I was sitting there, and this is like someone who's like taking a step back to some degree and don't enjoy football in the way I did when I was younger. I just sat there and watched this, and it was incredible. It was incredible, James. Like just being in the middle of them all and watching the angst and turmoil and the panic and the desperation and the joy. And all of that was in 10 minutes. It was unbelievable. Football is like, there's many critics and many things wrong with the game, right? But regardless of the amount of money that Manchester City had, or the amount of players that they have, or how dislikable Liverpool can be to some people, at that moment, those last 10 minutes was some of the greatest drama that I've witnessed as an adult. It was amazing just to watch everything. I was in the perfect place.
On reflection, the hot spot I felt sorry for Liverpool fans was when Coutinho scored. You have to go, and it's 2-0. You have to go. This is destiny. You have to think that, don't you?
Of course.
When it's Coutinho and it's Gerrard, you have to.
Of course you do.
So for it then to get like, it was like, oh my God, it's in my palm of my hand. We just need to score a goal now. And then it was a bang, bang, bang. Sit down.
It was unreal. I was watching the Man City game, mainly watching this because they were 2-0 down. You're sort of watching Liverpool because you know that they now need to get just a goal, and they've won the league. And I'm looking, and I'm looking, and I see out the corner of my eye. I think Gundogan scored first, wasn't it? Yeah. And looking, I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Literally 2 minutes later, again.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, they are going to do this because they were terrible. They were terrible. Up until that point, Villa were well worthy of that lead, and then football.
It's coming home, isn't it? The only disappointing thing was that it was bang bang. I would have liked a bang, 5, 6, 7 minutes, bang,
and
then my last one, like a slower tempo, personally. Right, let's get all this done. Jim Big Laugh Award. Let's just get this out of the way. I had a mayor last week, not a Samism, but I just got the name completely wrong. George Wilson. We're talking about Rangers. Very surprised to learn that the 1966 World Cup winner, Jimmy Armfield, who died in 2018, aged 82, aged 82, has been playing for Rangers this season. Hell of a comeback for the boy.
The boy.
I thought Scott. I was thinking Scott Armfield.
Scott Armfield. That's right. Yeah.
Denzer replied, longevity. Form is temporary, class is permanent. He's lost. Jack Large said, lost a yard of pace over the years, but fair play to him for adapting his game. Really
fantastic.
Good.
Very
Love
good.
That. And actually, Joe, whilst I'm on the running order, before we get to the football mysteries, and we will get to them. Bit of beef in there last week in the comment section. One revolving around Spurs and one revolving around Liverpool. Let's just quickly touch on it. James Warner said, unwritten rule, I think we missed out on. You can't use a global pandemic to avoid playing your local rivals.
It's just not ethically right. It's just not right.
I want to be on the right side of history, so I'm going to agree with that you can't use a global pandemic to avoid playing your local rivals. Right.
Look, it's not even a joke. I'm not going to do it again because I've done it so many times. But just global deaths from the pandemic, 5.4 million. You cannot use that to get out of playing a game. It's unreal. Not enough has been made of that.
Nothing there. Why's my face zoomed in? That's mental. My face is just zoomed in. All right. That was so weird. There's no reason for that to zoom in. Let's look at the comments underneath it, though.
Look, your camera is insane. It's so good.
James Whelan went belter. I'm always going to say selfless son from now on. I know you don't want me to say that, but I don't care. Did you think of that yourself? Feels like a bite to me. Ross Hunter chimes in. Cry more. Ross Hunter then went, can't be asked with this. We'll talk about that in a second.
This is good.
Nathan went, Flav, please be my friend. James Warner returns with a cry less. Interesting. I do think I definitely notice it every single year. Everyone gets just a little bit more antsy and snappy at the end of the season because it's the bragging rights are just so up for grabs. So that's the first one. Second one, and I wasn't able to get all of this. It's quite a long one. Now, Tyler Norton, famed for being, first of all, an absolute OG legend. He made a website for us. So we do love Tyler. And he, of course, had a failed attempt at the Spag Bowl because it didn't have any meat in it.
Essentially just ate loads of pasta. That's not what we asked for.
No, just carb loaded.
But just so people know, we made the donation to Tottenham Food Bank as well.
Oh, yes, we have. Yeah. So Tyler says this. So we were talking last week about supporting your club and what makes you a supporter and all that stuff. And what I did want to say is, if you support your club, you just enjoy yourself, okay? By the way, because I know, like, we'd go, oh, this qualifies for this qualifies for that. Watching it back, part of me was like, look, you just enjoy your club, and I just didn't want to say that. Anyway, Tyler Norton started supporting Liverpool. You're not happy? You want to say something?
No, just enjoy your club, but some enjoy their club better than others.
With more moral high ground. Started supporting Liverpool from before FSG took over through all my friends who I lived with the first time I lived abroad in the UK. Watched them finish mid-table and celebrate Charlie Adam and Stuart Downing transfers. Not really bothered what Flav thinks. I'm enjoying this. I'll wave from Paris. Wait.
What did I say?
I don't know. You're probably just trying to wind him up. Lewis gets involved. Lots of replies on this one. Must be hard supporting England's most successful club. That is good. Yeah. Zach, at Lewis, so he's replying to Lewis, who'd said, must be hard supporting England's most successful club. We weren't in the Champions League for many years before FSG. We would finish 7th, 8th, and we had Konchesky, Jovanovic, Aquilani. I would say watching your team lose the league with your hero slipping, no Champions League for many years, selling your best players to Prem teams, Sterling, Torres, is not always enjoyable. So go talk to City fans. They are plastics. We worked for this. Lewis replies, must be hard supporting England's most successful club.
Will not rise. He will not rise.
Ben gets involved. Yeah, it's not. It's a fucking delight, to be honest, mate. Cheers for recognising we are the most successful. Atto replies, 8 years without a single title, you moppet. Max Wally says, we weren't in the Champions League for many years with FSG. Tyler Norton replies, remember Tyler from the start of this? Feeling a big wound up, but feeling a bit, I think you meant wound up. Wound up by this season, fella. Lewis replies, nah, mate, we won the league. God. A great tete-a-tete. But spicy
good work all around. Good work all around.
Okay, let's do footballing mysteries first. Here we go. So, what footballing mysteries have been provided this season? And I'll just get your thoughts. If any catch your eye, Flav, then we just have a talk about them. Footballing mysteries. What really happened with Romelu Lukaku? Thoughts?
What happened?
That happened again. Why does it keep zooming in on my face?
I love it. It's
so weird. My camera's something's going on. He just doesn't like Chelsea, does he? Let's be honest.
So what happens? And you see, there's absolutely no guarantee for any transfer, no matter how good the player is, for it to work. Look, Hazard was on fire and went to Real Madrid. It should work, but just didn't. It requires.
It's happening again. What is going on with my camera? I'm not touching it. It's so weird. Right, we're just going to have to get on with this for the rest of it. It's so weird. Carry on.
It requires... sorry, I'm distracted by your massive face. It requires so many things for a player to do well at a club. And it's not just ability. You go in there and something's not right. The manager doesn't quite want us to play you in a different role or the system.
Let me cut you off there. Boring. Boring. I don't want actual football chat. Hugh Griffin. Sorry. Why Steve Bruce thought Joe Linton was a striker? What a mystery. He was terrible, wasn't he? The Joe Linton thing is the best. I think there was a picture later on from someone. Jack. How can a player who shot the ball and hit his own head turn into prime Yaya in such a short amount of time? I love Joe Linton. How has he done it?
It's Eddie Howe, isn't he? Eddie Howe's got to take responsibility, but he is. He reminds me. He's got the Dembele's about him in midfield. Very strong, and it's just a marvel. It's an absolute mystery about how they've look. Eddie Howe's gone in there. Hear me out, Eddie. Right? I know you've played up front since you were 2. I think I can take you into a ball carrying midfielder. What do you think of that?
Yeah.
Anything for you, Eddie?
I think there's an easy setup to get him on board. You go, and I might zoom in on me here. Let's see. You go, Joe Linton. Joe, take a seat. You're a striker, right? Yeah, I'm a striker. You don't score goals.
Yeah. You don't score many goals.
You don't score. But no, I'm a striker though. No, boss, I can do a job. Yeah, but you don't score goals.
Yeah. So
I hear what you're saying. How about this?
You are right. I don't score goals. You are right. That is a fact.
So how about this then? Try and be a midfielder because then you don't have to score goals.
No one expects goals from you for midfield.
Okay, that is a big part of it. Like the expectations, everything in football. We speak about that every week. As soon as the expectation for him is not to score goals, you got a chance. And that's why it's hard being a striker, isn't it? You've just got the pressure is on for you to score bloody goals.
Yeah.
But Joe Linton,
he cost a lot of dough as well, didn't he?
40 million. Bargain.
Where
Absolute
from?
Bargain. Germany.
So I just want to check. He wasn't even scoring goals in Germany. What was he thinking?
Was it Hoffenheim? I want to say Hoffenheim.
Hoffenheim, he scored 7 in 29. Then he went to Rapid Wien on loan. He scored 15 in 60. And Newcastle thought, 40 million. Let's get him in.
He's Brazilian. He's Brazilian. He's got one name. Get him in.
He's played 104 games for Newcastle. That's mad.
Yeah. Thing is, isn't it amazing how you reclassify it? Because say he went and started playing as a striker again, you would then change his numbers and go, he's only scored 4 goals in whatever it is. He's crap. But as a midfielder, he's wonderful.
He's very, very good. He's very good. And, the blonde hair gives you an extra... You get an extra little nod for that, don't you?
Yeah,
You're better if you got dyed hair.
With all respect.
Yeah.
Rian, how United still managed to get Europa League after losing 90% of their games. Now that led me on to my what things that you thought happened but didn't happen. So we'll come back. We'll come back to that. The rise and fall of QPR. It is a mystery. Hopefully, he'll come back stronger. Please, Michael Beale. Come and support. Come and manage Queen's Park Rangers.
What does that mean?
Michael Beale's assistant coach at Aston Villa, the mind behind Steven Gerrard, and he's coming to QPR.
Hang on a second.
That's right, Catherine.
QPR, right. Gerrard hasn't really achieved anything yet, has he? Why would his number 2 be a good appointment?
Yeah. Well, it ranges. Ranges. Okay. Not everyone got it. Widge said, "Why are so many players collapsing?" I don't want to talk about that.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
do you know what? I want to this podcast generally light-hearted, generally a light-hearted podcast. Yeah. Let's talk about players dying on the pitch.
Yeah, that'd be great. Colin James says, "How have the team? This is a mystery. Have the team of the world's best manager, goalkeeper, fullbacks, centre back, midfielder, player, and front three failed to win the league again?" It is a mystery. It is a mystery.
It is a mystery.
It's funny.
If Klopp doesn't win the Champions League,
it's
easy. I mean, is he progressing Liverpool Football Club? Easy.
Are they moving forwards?
Yeah. They won. They won the league. They've won the Champions League. To me, just winning a little shitty League Cup and a shitty little FA Cup isn't progress.
Both on penalties.
It is. I mean, it's a lottery. Penalties are a lottery.
He won 2 trophies on a lottery, haven't they? Really?
He could quite easily have come away from this season potless. And Liverpool fans think, let's give him a new contract. Where's the ambition from the football club? Where is the ambition? I've got a question for you, Jim. One more.
Go on.
I just want a quick answer. I don't have to go into it. But Pep has had a better season than Klopp if Klopp doesn't win this game?
He's gone for it.
Is it true?
Disgusting.
Is that a mad thing to say?
The
Premier League is...
Oh, that's...
The Premier League... That's the title, Jim. The Premier League trumps League Cup and FA Cup combined.
Correct.
But Champions League, FA Cup, League Cup trumps League.
Correct.
So, it's on this game.
Really is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of Liverpool fans are really confident as well. I can't believe how confident. I'd love that confidence. So I was shitting myself playing Norwich.
You've got to be confident, but the problem is that the way Real Madrid have got to the final, it's just been bizarre. Like
sort of like almost like Tottenham, they've stumbled their way to the final, isn't it?
It's just been, and when it gets to that, you start to think it's sort of destined, right?
No, don't talk to me about that because I remember that people were saying that about Spurs, and it wasn't destiny. It was a very boring 2-0 win for Liverpool, who, by the way, had 39% possession and defended the entire game. The very same tactic we used when we drew there, but Klopp wasn't happy with. Just stay there. I'm not bitter.
Solenham, thank you for the super chat. After digging us out earlier, why are you discussing the financial relevance of Champions League? Burnley got relegated, and either Hudds or Forest will replace them. 200 million right there. I don't understand that sentence. I'm really sorry.
No, I'm not sure.
Robbie Holmes with a super chat. Genuine question: did Klopp deserve Premier League Manager of the season? Technically, he underachieved in the league. I at the start of the week I did a video ranking everyone's season, and I put forward the idea that you can't be so there was legendary and there was good. Like, it's been a great season for them, right? But I can't. For me personally, I was thinking, can it be a legendary season when you don't win the Premier League? When we were talking about exclusively the Premier League, I don't think you can.
Can you sack a manager?
He's got to go, hasn't he? Has to go if they lose. Has to go.
I just think. Where's your ambition as a football club? What direction are you going?
If you're standing still, you're moving backwards, aren't you?
You might as well be, because everyone else is moving forward.
That's all we can do. Yeah, I mean, I think you're right.
Do you reckon anybody,
would you say Pep's clear?
Going, what? Like, Liverpool fans are watching this going, what the fuck are these two banging on about? Everyone thinks, what are they talking about?
I bet there's a lot of Liverpool fans who watch this and enjoy it because they know, obviously, all of this is tongue-in-cheek, but at the same time have little moments of going, why am I still watching this?
These two are fucking idiots.
And they're winding me up. I don't need this.
Why am I being wound up? I know.
Let's get back to some mysteries here, because there are a few other ones. Shane Fleming, did Man City ever play Brentford? Not sure. I can't remember it. How are Aston Villa making the smartest signings?
That's blown my mind. Did they play Brentford? I mean, they played them twice, but did they? When?
We'll gloss over
is a belter. That is a belter.
We'll gloss over that.
No, Jim. Can you tell me the result? Can you even tell me who won?
I'm a loser, so I think I do. And my best mate's a Brentford fan who went to the game, so I think I do know the answer. I think they lost 2-0 in both, which is I'm sad to know that. The mystery of how Son wasn't even the PFA Player of the Year shortlist. That is a mystery. I think that is a fair mystery. That is mental. Why was he not? The mystery of Son not being on the Player of the Year's shortlist.
I don't know. It doesn't make it. I don't give a shit really, but I don't know. I can't get my head around it. I mean, it's the PFA player, right? So it's a player. So it's based on votes by players, right?
Oh, is it?
Is it?
I don't know. To be honest. Anyway, is what it is. So this is the next thing, because I don't want to run out of time. This is the second I thought was good. So what felt like it happened but didn't really happen, because how United still managed to get Europa League after losing 90% of their games. It did feel like Man United was lost. They just didn't win football matches, did they?
No, they weren't. Well, they beat Spurs twice, but they weren't. This is their lowest ever points total in the Premier League history.
Yeah, mad.
They've got to get Rannick out. I know he's sort of still milling around. I don't know what he's doing.
Oh, right.
Is he?
Generally,
is he?
Broadly.
Get him as far away from your football club as possible.
Can I go with an early take on Ten Hag?
I've got one too. Go on.
Doesn't feel right.
No. It doesn't. It's weird.
Feeling matters in football, and I just wonder. I'm just putting that out there. I'm probably wrong. He's done phenomenally at Ajax, and I think he's got so much power right now. But something doesn't
is it warranted?
initially feel right. Just say.
I 100% agree with you, and I can't put my finger on it, but it just feels odd. Something's not right. It's weird. Funny you said that as well. I was watching it, I was like, this is weird.
It doesn't feel right.
Something weird.
So, felt like it happened.
Check his hard drive.
Felt like it happened, but it didn't really happen. Nuno getting sacked because he subbed off Lucas Moura, and despite Spurs not being too far off top four. Felt like it happened, but didn't really happen. Arsenal getting top four. I think that is true. We kind of felt like they were there.
Well, it was there to lose.
Connor, Bruno Fernandes went on holiday after the first game week. Yeah, what happened to Bruno Fernandes?
What happened to Bruno Fernandes? That's such a good shout.
Great
I remember him being a player once.
Yeah. Do you remember Bruno Fernandes was good?
Yeah. That's a banger. Yeah, go on. What else you got? I like these.
Crystal Palace didn't lose a match this season.
No, they didn't lose a match. They were unbeaten all season. Unbelievable. So well. His stock has rocketed, isn't it, Vieira?
He's done very well. Jean-Carl Muscat, unpopular opinion. Leicester somehow finished 8th despite playing so inconsistently. Looking like just for the 13th, 14th. Yeah. Liverpool won the quadruple, didn't they? Did that happen? Felt like it happened, but and that's what's going to be so mad is that like all the quadruple chat, understandably so, like playing every game available to you and then walking away with just 2 cup competitions that you won on penalties. That is amazing. I hadn't thought about that literally until we started talking about it. Crazy.
It was a lottery. Their trophy wins were a complete lottery. Can I say something? Ask a question. Who is responsible for Liverpool not winning the league? Who do you hold responsible?
Who's the scapegoat? There has to be a scapegoat.
Not scapegoat. What team? When was it over for Liverpool? What result?
Well, I mean,
say it.
Spurs. Well, Spurs cost. I don't think it can be Spurs because Liverpool got more points against you than Man City did.
No, it was Spurs. We broke them. That win, like basically, they hate us, but they're pretending not to.
Okay. Other things that happened but didn't happen. Kai Havertz scored every week, yet Mason Mount ended up as top scorer for Chelsea. It's true.
Did he? What?
It's good. Tom Carey. Ward-Prowse was the only person to score for Southampton this season.
They were all free kicks.
Yeah, that's very good. Where else? What else we got? Foden scored 20 goals, 20 plus goals this season. Did you know that?
Did he?
No.
Oh,
didn't happen.
No,
I thought it happened.
No, it didn't happen.
Arsenal improved. Crystal Palace went unbeaten the whole season. Cannot remember them losing once. There you go. Felt like PSG lost half their games this season, but were always 20 points clear.
That's wicked.
That's good. Brentford didn't play Norwich this season. It just didn't happen.
I don't think they did. I don't think they did play Norwich.
Newcastle were battling for Europe. This has made Aston Villa having a good season. They could have done a lot better with the signings they've made over the season. Finished below Brentford and in 14th.
I don't think Villa did have a good season at all.
This does feel true to me. Liam said Southampton and Leicester didn't play any games this season. Leicester just weren't part. And actually, I feel so bad of it. I did a one transfer for every team. I forgot Southampton and put the video out. I put Leeds as well. I just forgot Southampton.
God, that's the most damning thing you can have done about your football club. A football content creator forgets about your football club and its entire existence. The
guy who's supposedly supposed to fight for the little guy. I forgot Southampton.
Yeah, like what is? Can I ask you a question? Is Hasenhüttl good? Is he a good manager?
I listened to a couple of I'm such a loser Southampton podcasts because I wanted to hear because I haven't thought about Southampton at all. I'm intrigued to how do they feel about it all. A lot of them are like they've had enough now. Like it's not really moving forward. They're a bit bored of him. But
he's got an incredible reputation. Like people talk about him. A lot of football hipsters talk about him and I really rate him. But why? And we said it before. You can't be considered a good manager. Like university
unwritten rule. Can you be considered a good manager?
Can you be considered a good manager if you've lost 2 games 9-0?
Yeah.
I don't think you can.
Can you go down as an elite manager? Can't really.
No, you can't. At some point during those 2 games, he should have said to himself, something's not working here.
Yeah.
And change it.
Might be best to walk away.
Maybe a 3-0 change it. And he sort of gets plaudits for being just steadfast in his tactic, unwavering in his tactic. I believe this is right. You're losing 9-0, mate. Change it.
I think, they are getting fed up with it. Let me just get through this. Everton winning the league. That's good. Good little power move there. Everton played 30 home games. It did feel like they were home every time. Leicester conceded from every corner they faced. James Ward-Prowse scored from every free kick he took. Wolves got into Europe.
These are mad. I don't know why this is so funny.
But it does feel right, doesn't it? Leicester will rank every game and came 8th. This is such a... This one...
Villa had a better season than Leicester. Villa finished 14th.
Yeah. I can't remember a single one of Vardy's 15 goals this season. Vardy scored 15
no
goals.
chance.
He didn't play. He was injured the whole season. I don't understand it.
Did he? I don't remember. No, I can't picture one.
Jared Bowen scored every single week, but scored less than 15 goals. It's amazing. It's so good. There you go. Conte repeatedly quit and retook the Spurs job every week.
Felt like it.
And loads more. Very, very good. Good stuff.
Very good. Love that.
Skinny Fat Huey with the super chat. Baby's born at 1:59 a.m. Its twin is born 2 minutes later, but clocks... Oh, I thought you had a child, mate. Its twin is born 2 minutes later, but clocks went back. So now it's 1 minute past 1. Which is the older kid? Because the one born second will be older on paper, but the one born first is actually 2 minutes older. I would go with... The game of life's not played on paper. So I would say, screw the world and their time. I would say the first child.
Yeah.
Thanks for the super chat. Right. Unwritten rules, we were talking about the one. So there's a new one. Pop that on the list, please, Louis. You cannot be considered elite manager if you've lost 2 games of football. 9-0. Oh, quick quote of the pod from last week's podcast, which banged, by the way. Doing very well. We've actually got a podcast that's okay.
What do you mean bang?
I tell you, it's on like 40-odd thousand views. It's crazy. We used to get 10, Jimmy, didn't we?
Yeah, Jim. What is it about? Is it about people watching it because they know what the podcast is, or you're just really good at thumbnails? And
I like to think the former.
This is my problem. I always think there's something else going on rather than just going, yeah, we're doing a good job.
Self-awareness is a good thing. Quote of the pod, segment of the pod. Flav, he's just communicating, Jim. I want tits. Talking about my son last week.
Yeah, yes.
Jim replies, didn't work for me in my 20s. And then a 30-second role play of crying in the club between the two. Great stuff. Okay, last week we were talking about, I don't know how we were talking about it, but we were talking about let us know things where stuff's happened but nobody was harmed. I can't remember what it was. Can someone remind me in the chat? Something bad happened but nobody was harmed. I think we're talking about my friend who does minging stuff sometimes, but he'll always go, no one gets hurt by me.
16, he had 60 sexual 50, yeah. Over 50 and 17 were unforgivable was one of the best things I've ever heard. That's so funny.
Yeah.
17 were unforgivable.
Right. But nobody was harmed. JDN. My nobody's been harmed story. That was it. I was like, what's the worst thing that could happen? But
no one was harmed in the end.
I was working at Home Bargains and it was like my second week on the job. I started at 10 a.m. I'd been on a night out in Burnley until 8 a.m. Went straight to work. Oh. I was knackered all day, but made it through the shift just about. It gets to 5:55 p.m. and the store closes in 5 minutes. I give my call on the microphone to make your way to the tills. Due to the manager having to leave early to pick up his kids, everything was cashed up already and I just had to put the shutter down and leave. So I did. I went home and crashed immediately. Woke up the next day to several phone calls from my boss. I opened my text to see, call me now, ! Turns out I'd locked a child in the store and he had to be rescued by the fire brigade and was stuck in there for 4 hours.
Fantastic.
I was fired, but nobody was harmed. Really good.
Fired? That's a bit harsh.
Yeah, these things happen. I think it's, at that point you've got...
That's about more of those. Don't know when we're going to do them, but...
Get them in. Yeah, if there's any good ones. Actually, put them in because we need bits to start off with. Unwritten rules. So many unwritten rules. So many comments. Thank you so much for helping write the show every single week. By the way, whilst we're live, if you could hit the like button. And I'm almost nearly at 180k. So if you could subscribe, that'd be amazing.
I've got to tell you.
Do you mind if I just check? It doesn't matter. It's not important, but it is important. So make sure you do it. Right. Unwritten rules. Sorry, what did you want to show me?
I got. We do another podcast. I do another podcast on Patreon, and someone sent in a question. I can't remember who it was, and it just simply said, "As an American, can you please, for the love of God, tell me what Fleet Services is?" I don't know what you mean when you say Fleet Services. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm not sure whether I should tell him. I'm not sure. Should I tell him?
Oh no! I think look, it's the end of the season. It's the last pod. I think you can't let him. Let him stew on that for the summer.
Lee J. Favored says, "Please, for the love of God and Brooklyn, New York, what is Fleet Services?"
That's brilliant. That's so good. So go on, Flav, to explain.
Well, it's where we're all meeting up for a big nosh off at the end of the season.
Simple as that.
That's what Fleet Services is.
Yeah, and so Fleet Services is the greatest service station. So when you're going up and down the country, there are certain places you get off the motorway, go to the services, and it's got like Costa Coffee. If you're lucky, it's got a little playground. Not that I play in the playground. Semen all over my face. Oh, that was brilliant. But yeah, I just want to go on the swings before we leave. Is that right? Yeah.
Not like going to playground. Not like going to playground.
Mark Spencer's, all sorts. Anyway, Fleet Services is the best, and also Flav was going to meet up with someone to have an argument, and then we decided to create that as a nosh-off point. By the way, I'm 13 subscribers away from 180k, so that would be great. If you could,
well done, James.
That'd be lovely.
Well done.
So, unwritten rules. Selfless son.
When you get to 100k, 200k, you're gonna cry again?
Nah. I don't think I'll cry.
Getting over the line. I just can't do it. Remember the comment?
I just can't. Love to. I'd love to. I just can't do it. I just couldn't do it.
Can't.
It's so true, though, isn't it? Just can't do it.
You just sat there. I mean, we must have had about, I reckon, 17 conversations while we were at Paul Street. I just can't do it.
Just can't do it. Just can't do it. Just need to dry up, didn't it? Yeah, it was funny. In the past now, because we're flying, we're marching on. So here we go, unwritten rules. When the losing team in a final collect their medals, the commentator must point out that they don't actually want to do that, obviously. I thought the bigger unwritten rule was the one that was written by Tom Lear right underneath it, because I always think of it when, I was thinking it when I saw the Conference League win for Roma this week. Add to that point, every player will take the medal off immediately once it's around their neck. That is an unwritten rule, isn't it?
100%. Yeah.
And I
quite like the ones. I think if I did it, I'll go, yeah, we've done all right. Runners up. That's pretty good. Let's keep that.
No. I want it to be taken off straight away.
Do you put it in the bin?
No, I'd keep it, but I just don't want it round my neck.
Yeah.
You can't be proud of that, can you? So I'm actually a little bit disappointed when people keep it on.
What does that tell you about their person, do you think?
Just not winners.
Weak.
Like, if for Spurs, if Levy was watching that, he should have, when you lost the Champions League final, you should have watched it and seen who kept it on and God, get him out.
Just snipe at him, have a sniper already.
Well, that feels a bit heavy. Nico Schwan, unwritten rule. Anyone will respect your football knowledge if, when talking about a centre-back, if you say, I prefer him in a 3.
Yeah. You can get...
That's Maguire,
there are some lines that you could bluff that make you would make, because you know, right, when you're talking, you meet someone new and they're like, do you watch football? Yeah, I watch football. And you know literally how they answer that question, whether or not they actually watch football, but you can tell within 10 seconds whether they know what they're talking about or not.
Yeah.
But
pockets of space.
He's decent. Decent. I prefer to see him in a back 3. That would convince me.
Yeah, that's like Maguire. When everyone's going after Maguire, it's like that's the thing. Where if you want to be kind to, you go, he's better in a 3. I prefer him in 3. Pockets of space is a good one to use if you need it. Will McPhail, unwritten rule. There were so many unwritten rules, by the way. Thank you for all of them. When describing your own footballing ability to people you haven't played with, you must liken yourself to a Michael Carrick or a two guy or other deep-lying playmaker types. You cannot say I'm Sadio Mane. That is true. I remember being at uni trials, and they were sort of going around like, what kind of player are you? And one guy went, I'm sort of like a Yaya Toure. And I was like, right, no. So you're a knob then.
Yeah, you're a knob.
Okay, you can go on their team.
It's the style of play, not the quality of player.
Yeah, but you can't say I'm sort of like a Sadio Mane kind of type.
Yeah, I'm sort of like a Zidane.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Zidane?
Yeah. Let us know in the comments. What's the one where you like the most cringeworthy like comparison when you've met up with someone and they've gone, okay, so right, who plays what sort of player are you? I'm sort of like like a Zinedine Zidane. He sort of just gets on it and makes things happen. Yeah, I'm sort of that kind of player.
All right, what players can you say that don't make you look like a prick? Like
Carrick is a good one. I think
Carrick's not bad, but I'd say Carrick has a distinctive style. Stephen Hunt of Hull. You can say that with no issue.
I used to go like a slower Gareth Barry. I used to say, self-deprecating, likable. Oz Spurs, Unwritten Rule. In a pitch invasion where the game is still going, once everyone is off the pitch, this is brilliant. Once everyone is off the pitch and there's a couple of stragglers, the crowd must turn on the sole survivor and boo him relentlessly, cheering the security on when they get him, despite the fact that they were sprinting past security while giving them the bird only minutes ago. It's true, isn't it?
Do you know what you don't see anymore, Jim? Female streakers at football.
Yeah,
the big old whappies flapping about as they run around the pitch. It's not. And why is it? Why is it all female streakers have massive bangers?
Yeah, I think it's interesting that, isn't it? Because okay, yes,
just like that.
It is of course, it is tittillating, but it's also it's a safer, more sort of family friendly. You know, it's like a carry-on film, isn't it?
Yeah.
When it's like big blokes running on with bald heads, and you can see their gut like underneath their shirt as they're running. Like you're like, what's he gonna do? Whereas there's a safety, and there's a kindness, and there's a gentleness to a female streaker just jumping on and just feeling liberated for God's sake. Just feeling the air, get some fresh air.
Big old milkers flapping about. You know, they always have always substantial muff as well.
I was thinking that.
Like always a massive muff. Not there's nothing wrong with that. Just saying, female streakers. I guess what because they're from.
Do you think there's a thought process to that? Do you think they're going?
Yeah, I reckon.
I'm happy to be naked, but I'm not showing them my labia.
Yeah. I need a big muff. I reckon it's because they're far away and they know that they need features that people can recognise. Fans are going to recognise from at least 50 to 60 months. So they grow their muff out so they can be seen. And obviously I think we've more or less nailed it. But it's a shame because you don't see much of them now. And the thing is nothing. You're not looking at it going, "Oh yeah." You're going, "Hey, it's a bit of fun."
Do you know, it's funny, isn't it? Because like the streakers, you sort of, although it feels like an impromptu thing, it's actually something that's actually very planned out, isn't it? You know, those women you're talking about will have been growing their muff for weeks, and planning this so that it's just. Do you think that, you know, like with a bit of an Afro pick, they'll sort of grow it out just sort of like just so it's got that like that bounce to it. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to. They won't want to go out there with a matted muff. Is what I'm trying to say.
No. Ollie Sachs just asked me, please tell my Slavia Prague Spurs story, boob story.
Catherine, a moderator on the channel, says, yes, this is why Jim has a small female audience. There you go.
What? That's
come
not
on,
sexy.
come on.
Come on. What is it?
What's your Slavia Prague story?
We were in the stadium and there was a woman who just kept doing this in the Prague end, which was met by a "Wee" first time she did it.
What else?
And then she did it again, and everyone was like "Wee," and then she did it again, like "Wee." And in the end, there was like 5,000 Spurs fans not watching the game, just going "Tits, tits, 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 tits." There's no word of a lie. Tits. Oh yes!
But that's what I mean. There's no like. So when QPR had to win the last game of the season in 1999, I was just a young pup. I was like 12 or something, and and we won 6-0. It was amazing. We've been terrible all season at home. Beat Palace 6-0, and at some point, this woman who's painted blue and white on a torso got onto like the top of the lower loft, which you could just sort of run on, and ran around. And it was honestly, it was so there's no danger in it at all. It's just a pure celebration, wasn't it? It's just like it's so carry on. It's like, but if like a bloke's just running around, everyone's like, no, what are you doing? Yeah, okay, fine, all right, we've done it now.
Why are you?
Whereas everyone's like, yes, guys, yeah. Everyone's like, I'm there with my dad. My dad's pointing. My dad's going, look, son, it's a celebration. It's a celebration. That's it's right, and it's okay because it's a woman. There's something about that.
It made the paper. local paper the next day.
Just the headline: tits with fans like that.
It's just a picture. Like in the football, you had all the shots of the game, and they had a little square out in the corner of just the woman showing her boobs.
Yeah. Maybe we're running out of material here because Ollie Sage says the exact last time you told this story, James also told his QPR story. Well, that's the byproduct of becoming a patron. You will hear stories more than once. Right, enough of the streaker chat. We've got a power move and then the top 10 Jaffa moments up for debate in the comments, of course. So power move. Tyler Friedman. A personal favourite power move of mine is when I'm stood at some traffic lights and there are other people crossing it. It is crucial that I am the first to cross. I do this. This is especially good if you can cross in the sweet spot before the green man has flashed and you can see the car slowing down to stop. If you are the one to initiate the others to cross, you have all the power. That is a good power move. Thank you for all your power moves this season. And right, top 10 Jaffa moments. So the reason I laughed was because I saw... Where was it? Number 3 on this list. So let's make our way through them. Top 10 Jaffa moments off the top of my head. Oliver Gillet or Gillet or Gill. And we've had some great moments this year. So thank you for the season. Thank you for getting involved in the comments. We absolutely love chatting and doing this podcast. The Patreon's amazing as well. So thank you everyone for watching this year. Top 10. Here we go. So he didn't include one for the weekend stuff, as my memory didn't go back that far. But White Teeth would have been clear number 1, of course. Any newbies, go search White Teeth, Ball Street, watch it, enjoy it. You're welcome. In at number 10, Flav always rated Dwight McNeil. I don't remember this one. I might need to explain that. Always rated.
I don't know. Is that the bloke who plays for Burnley?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know who he was, didn't you? Like, who's Dwight McNeil?
Right.
And then he scored a screamer against Everton like that weekend.
That was it. Yeah. I remember that. And I tweeted,
the Roma badge.
Roma badge out. Was that just this season or just go back? Did you say it was not included? Oh, yeah, you did, yeah. The Roma badge is mental. Anyone, just take a moment to go and look at the Roma badge. It is fucking mental.
It is.
And you see it every time. You don't even...
Oh, we haven't spoken about John Terry and Rio Ferdinand's beef.
I just think it's weird that Rio Ferdinand put himself at number 1. It's weird. That's a weird thing to do.
Oh, do you think that's the weird thing in this?
What else has happened?
Well, the whole thing's bloody awkward. I remember thinking, did anyone else watching the video straight away
what video? Is there a video?
So he did a video with Virgil van Dijk, and Virgil van Dijk put forward his five top Premier League centre-backs of all time. And Rio Ferdinand kind of led the way and did his first. And the whole time
put yourself as number 1. It's freaky. It's weird.
I haven't got a problem with that.
I have.
But right at the start of it, the first thing I thought was, is he going to pick John Terry? Because obviously of everything that's happened.
His brother, yeah.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, is he going to chuck him in there? And he waited and waited and waited. It was almost like he was toying with us a little bit. And then he popped him in at the end, which I thought was, for someone who clearly is not a fan of John Terry after what he did to his brother, I thought was pretty good of him. And he, spoke about him being a good player and all that. There's one thing that annoys me about this Twitter exchange. Well, a couple of things. It's bizarre. So first of all, I don't really understand. When has John Terry said something to Rio Ferdinand? Because Rio Ferdinand has just atted John Terry, but there's no tweet before that. So I don't really know how that has...
Is that just the way the Twitter algorithm is ordering the tweets or something? It's weird. It does make it look like he just atted him.
Yeah. So if that's not... I don't know if that is the case or not, right? But he can't... So if that is unprovoked, or he's done something on his Instagram or something, maybe that's the reason why. But if it's unprovoked, I find that a little strange. And then he's talking about fragile ego.
It can't be unprovoked. He wouldn't have just... That would be... Yeah, no, something must have happened beforehand.
I mean... For
sure.
That is everything that we're thinking, obviously. And I don't know. I'm okay with him putting it in there, but then I start to think this feels really trivial on Twitter, doesn't it? Like once it all started, so I don't really understand what happened. The thing that really annoys me,
nothing better to do,
and I know my grammar is horrific on Twitter, but why is there a capital E there
and a capital N?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Capital E, fragile ego.
He's a millionaire by kicking a football. He's never had to worry about that. He's done it by mistake, hasn't he?
Yeah. I love it, and he just skims over the racism.
It doesn't even acknowledge it.
But thanks for putting me in his top 5. And
is Terry? Where is he? What's he doing?
He's gonna. I think he'll be managing next year. I think he'll be looking to take a job surely.
He was
could be
at
in the
Villa,
Championship.
wasn't he?
Could be
With
Championship.
Dean Smith.
I could be interviewing him next season. Okay. Is it right to ask you about Rio Ferdinand? Give me your top 5 centre backs. That'll be my first question to John Terry. Right, back to the top 10. Yeah, the Roma badge, madness. Absolute madness.
Yeah, crazy.
Number 8, the Martins enjoy a spag bowl. That was surreal. And actually, we were supposed to get him on, and I'm really sorry, Tom, for not getting that sorted out. Just lots. It's been so hectic this last month trying to get videos done and everything. Number 7, the Allcott tuck. Brackets, James holds his breath while shagging.
Go on, explain again, because this is good.
I think we're talking about just virginity and how like you just don't know what you're doing and you're just panicking and but also that I think we mixed that up with the fact that I sleep on my front with my arms tucked in like this.
Yeah.
And so mixed the two of me like then also because I don't know when you have sex for the first time you're just like what are you doing? So I remember holding my breath and just cracked up
for the entire duration.
It's been we've had some amazing bits this year. And what I would say with the summer now, go back and if you've missed any of the podcasts, go back and watch them. And obviously you can skip the bits where we talk about football and move on to the funny bits because there are some good bits. In at number 6, the first buffet chat. Got a lot of buffet chat this year, didn't we?
We really dragged that out.
Really milked that dry. Unbelievable. There are certain things that seem to. I think there's sort of challenges that males have to go through, and one it feels like hairdressers keep coming back round, and buffet chat seem to as well. And by the way, Oliver, you spelt my name wrong. Shame on you. Fingers in mouths. Number 4. 3 better than fingers in mouths. Which is,
all these last 4 you can find on the Jaffa clips. All of these you can watch back. You don't have to go back to the previous episodes.
Crying children. That's the money shot. Number 2. He's bummed the kids.
I still watch that back just to see your reaction, where you've heard what I've said, and then you're like, "What? That's the worst thing you've ever said." He's on the kids. I love your reaction. Makes it. It's amazing.
And at number 1, interesting, controversial, possibly Shark Fact You. That was absolutely surreal. We made a song. Yeah. Someone wrote a song with the lyrics to Coldplay's. What song is it?
Fix You.
Fix You, yeah. Well, and then there was also one about home wins, and someone was really annoyed that that Fix You home wins wasn't done to Fix You. Anyway, so we've had some amazing moments, is what I'm trying to say. So thank you very much for being a part of this podcast. We absolutely love it. It's so cool. It's so cool. And
keep an eye out on our Twitter for our live show.
We're keen to do a live show to start the season off, right?
In April, it's going to be done in August. Just need the date. We've got the venue. We just need to agree a date.
Exciting.
Saturday.
And so if you want to be a part of the discussions of that, we'll probably talk about that and give updates on Patreon as well. So if you do want to join us. Yeah, sandwich was not in there. I did a sandwich as well. What did I say? I can't remember. Anyway, thanks again.
Cheers, everyone.
Only move forward.
Only forwards.
Well done, Sluggies. Moist and dry. Have a great summer, and I'll be on another video in a second. Actually, go and watch my Champions League preview, please, and go listen to all of Flav's pods. What are your pods? Give me a shout out.
What's the fucking name of my pod? No Holds Barred interviews. I interview lots of interesting people, porn stars, porn directors, escorts.
Is there a theme to it?
Airline pilots, magicians. One of them actually going to this. He does a magic trick through audio, and it absolutely blew my fucking mind. It worked. So go and listen to that. It's fascinating. That'll do.
Okay, we can only move forward. Thanks, guys. Speak soon.